Get this, guys. Carson Wentz could be on a new team by the weekend, according to some reports. Another report yesterday described it as a, quote, hour-by-hour situation. Philly is looking for a deal similar to what the Lions received from Matthew Stafford. According to Fox Bet Sportsbook, the Bears are favorites to land Wentz, followed by the Colts. So, Shannon, how much would you trade for Carson Wentz now?
We're not getting a deal what the Rams gave up to get Matthew Stafford. Because the thing is, teams don't realize, okay, what version of Carson Wentz am I going to get, Skip? Is he too broken mentally, physically, emotionally? Skip, plus I know you're trying to get up off him. I'm not going to give you your asking price when I know you got to get him up out of there. You got to. As you said, is too poisonous. That situation is too poisonous for anything to grow with Carson Wentz. So I know you got to get up off him. Why would I give you a first-round pick? Give you a second-round pick. Now, Skip, it'll be a steal. You give him a second-round pick and you get a guy that can be repaired mentally, emotionally, physically.
Well, would it be a steal?
Yeah.
You sure?
If he's not damaged beyond repair. Skip, he's taken a lot of punishment over the last couple of years. Not only physically, but emotionally, because everybody say you suck, you terrible, you awful. And you probably the reason you've been holding the Eagles back. So can he overcome that? And maybe a change of scenery would do him good. Because I know the Eagles believe a change of scenery would do them good. But I'm not giving up no first-round pick. I'm not giving up no haul. Skip, the Rams gave up two first-rounders in what, a third or fourth? They're not getting that for Carson Wentz because I don't think anybody thinks Carson Wentz is comparable to talent-wise as Matthew Stafford. That's first and foremost. That's why they were able to get that. The Rams believe, like, man, look here, with this guy, we're going places. And we're willing to give up these draft picks because we believe where we're going to be drafting, Skip, it's going to be in the low 20s, maybe even 32, because we're going to be the Super Bowl champ. So that first-round pick, y'all can have it. But, nah, Skip, I think teams are going to be very, very cautious because he's still got a big price tag. That's still, you got to pay, what, you got 3 years left at $100+ million? So the Eagles are hoping someone get real desperate. We got to get a quarterback. Now they're going to stand pat, and they're going to steal him right up him up under.
Okay, so I want to remind our faithful viewers out there that for going on 5 years on the show, my man Shannon Sharp has called this quarterback Walk It To Him Wentz.
Yeah,
right?
They better walk out the door.
I have changed that nickname to Give It To Him Wentz because he gives it to him a lot.
You gave it to him, live it, give it to him, limp it to him, bounce it to him.
I got all kinds of nicknames going for him to counter your nickname. Are you telling me you're ready to jump off the bandwagon? Are you telling me that he became damaged goods physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever damage is done, to the point that you're ready to say he's not that guy anymore?
We got to see where he goes. He's going to have to probably go somewhere. You look at it, and I see it. You understand Indy, Skip. Frank Wright coached him when he would have
a shot. I would give you that shot with that guy,
and
that coach.
And that system, Matt Nagy runs in Chicago, is comparable. It's the West Coast system. Yeah. So it's going to have to be somewhere where a system that he's familiar with, that he can just like go in. It's like, okay, I know the verbiage, I know the terminology, I know, first read, second read, check down. I get all that. So probably one of those situations, I believe Chicago, Indy would be the best that you can maximize what you're going to get out of Carson Wentz.
So the litmus test for Carson Wentz's value right now in, what are we into, his fifth year? Fifth year, will be that coach, Frank Reich, in Indianapolis, because he knows, and he's watched now from a distance, he knows Carson Wentz well enough, his psyche, and if he thinks it's damaged, then he will be the one who will say no to this deal. So you can sort of grade his value.
Year, right? Did he come into his sixth year? Yeah, because he came in at 16 with that. Yeah, 20, okay.
Okay, going into his 6th year.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to remind everybody that from the start, I don't love him. I don't love his feel for the game. And yet he's got big ability in that he's got stature. He's a big kid. He's a strong kid. He can stand strong in the pocket. He's got a little bit of Big Ben in him. He'll run through a brick wall for a first down, sometimes to a fault.
Yes.
And he has a big arm. And I think he has a big heart for football. Well, he will try hard. He'll give you all he's got. I don't think he's a natural-born leader because I think he's a little more unto himself, and that rubs some people the wrong way over the years in the locker room, and it never was quite right with him and the rest of the team. So you have to factor that in. But there's just a feel for the game that obviously Brady has at the highest level. Brady's another flip side of this kid because it's touch, it's feel, it's poise, it's the ability to read it quickly and get the ball delivered accurately to that perfect spot.
But to your point about leadership skills, Skip, this guy came in knowing he's going to be the guy. Brady came in as a 6th-round draft pick, just hoping to blend in, hoping that I just make it through. So he had an opportunity to understand and, like, get to know people. When you come in and you the guy, you're like, I ain't got to get to know you. I'm going to be here. You might not even be here tomorrow.
So I'm speaking strictly as a lifelong Cowboy fan. Carson Wentz has never scared me when my team has to play his Philadelphia team twice a year. He just doesn't scare me. So in the end, I think he reverted this year to who he really is. This year was closer because he had one burst in 2017, and it was a burst, and he was in the MVP conversation.
Yes, he would have won had he not got hurt.
Probably, and he tore his knee up out here at the Coliseum late in that year, and Nick Foles, the rest is history. Okay. So he's barely played in one playoff game against Seattle and got hurt.
Got knocked out.
And so he's, whatever the stat is, like 1 of 3 for 4 yards. I think that's his playoff numbers so far. So you don't even know how he performs in the postseason. You have 0 body of work to speak of. So what happened last year? Well, he got sacked 50 times, which led football. Is that his fault? Some of it is, some of it's not.
And even though he missed, last 3 games when he didn't start, he still got sacked the most time.
50 sacks. His 15 interceptions, despite not playing the last 3 games, led the NFL. His 19 turnovers led the NFL. He was 28th of 33 in QBR. Pro Football Focus, your favorite website, said he graded him the 34th best quarterback.
Damn, you got to get the backup to get the 34.
And by the way, speaking of Pro Football Focus, they did a big breakdown yesterday on Carson Wentz, and their bottom line was, you better be careful because they think that 2017 was more of a blip than a trend. It was as they say, the outlier, and their conclusion is, in the bitter end, I'm just quoting them, anybody looking to acquire Wentz needs to appreciate that 2017 is not a realistic ceiling for him, and the player you're getting is likely to look a lot more like the one we saw during 2016, 2018, 2019 seasons. I agree. Buyer beware. So it's hard when Philly has made it clear, we got to get him up out of here, as you just said. And what are you going to get in return? Who's going to give you the sun and the moon for him? You don't need to. Unless there's somebody out there who says, you know what? I can win a Super Bowl with Carson Wentz. And that, whoever that would be, I don't think they exist, but they would give up a first for him. Because who wouldn't? If you believe heart and soul, that guy can win you a Super Bowl. But who believes that?
No way.
I think there was a time you believed it for a while.
Yeah, I just think the thing is, Skip, what he's been through, the damage, you hear the reports out of there about how the teammates, they were, taken back by some of his mannerisms. I mean, they told you a lot. When they put a shrine up to the backup quarterback in the locker room that you got to walk, how the hell you going to put a shrine up to the guy?
Chris Long did?
Chris Long had a shrine in his locker that the guy got to walk by every day and see the shrine.
That's tough,
and I'm the starter, but you got a shrine on the backup.
Really?
So I think that told you a lot about what they thought about him in the locker room.
In the end, it tells me so much that Philly is so done with him, they're willing to eat $34 million in dead cash. $34 million? You just got to flush it.
And guess what? And Dak said, see, yonder, I told you that the Rams did the same thing. They're eating $24, $30 million with golf. They're going to eat $34 million. So you'll eat that money. Dak said, well, Jerry, go on and give me that money. You'll go over the cap.
And Jerry's saying, what if you turn into Carson Wentz?
That's what you believe?
Well, I don't know. That's probably what Jerry's leaning toward believing. Fearing.
I call him Deacon Dak, and you say, oh, no, deep throwing Dak. Dak.
Well, I told you all along, Dak Prescott is better than Carson Wentz, and I stand by that.
So let me ask you a question. If at the end of this year, they're neither in the original locations, how do we determine who's better?
Neither in their original?
Yes. So Dak will not be in Dallas. Wentz won't be in Philly.
I don't know. I guess we got to see where they wind up. See how advantageous their new
right now,
situation is.
They're tied at two division titles apiece.
But my guy, Dak, at least he won a playoff game.
He won a playoff game.
And he played well enough to beat Aaron Rodgers in a home
No, he didn't play that well.
Yes, he did. And he played well enough to beat Jared Goff in a game out here at the Coliseum.
No.
Yes.
You got lucky and beat Russ.
That wasn't lucky. That was
Skip, y'all
outplayed him. He outplayed him.
Skip, y'all gave up 300 yards rushing.
Okay.
To CJ.
That's the next game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But Seattle came in #1 in rushing in the league, and we shut them down, held them under 100.
And Todd Gurley, y'all, C.J. Anderson, bowling ball with legs.
Where is he now? I don't know.
He coaching at Cal, I think.
What happened?
Yeah.
Jenny went.
Yeah,
she jinxed me. She jinxed
put
me.
this on me.
Yeah, we gotta fly you out to some more games, Jenny.
The fact that Skip remembers that I went to that game and I'm just sitting over here, I hope he doesn't remember.
I think Fox said they need more sideline reporters.
No, I know. Where the team feels. It was not my
sideline that
fault,
report.
Come on. The quarterback carousel, guys, it continues. Did the Texans' latest move make it more or less likely for Deshaun Watson to stay in Houston? We'll explain next.